Neal Cox, hello, welcome.
Hey, Dan, thanks for having me. Good to be here.
My pleasure. Neal and I are going to talk today about building your brand and about how to follow up so that it actually works.
That's where the money is, isn't it?
Absolutely. So, Neal's a podcaster. You've got a show called Talk About Town, and you live in Louisville, Kentucky.
That's right. Talk About Town KY is the website. We're on a little season break right now, but we'll be back.
Are you impressed that I got Louisville pronounced correctly?
I am impressed. I went to school in Ohio for college and learned that I had to start saying Louisville because when I said I'm from Louisville, people said, "Where the hell's Lowville?"
Yeah. I was stationed at Fort Knox once upon a time, a long, long time ago. So
Gotcha.
it's one of
That's
my
in
favorite
backyard.
cities in the country. Really enjoyed it living there.
I love it as well.
So you're a full time realtor. You've
Yep.
been in the business about 3 years and really have a passion for helping clients to buy and sell. And I know that you've got your wife Samantha and your 3 kids, and you're an agent, and you are a solo agent,
Yep.
and you've had a bit of success. Is that true?
I have. It's been growing significantly. Started as um, agent on a team at a large brokerage, then
Okay.
agent on a team at a smaller brokerage, same team, then solo agent at that smaller brokerage, and now solo agent at a boutique brokerage that includes a builder.
Got it.
Um, yeah, and so what those moves have done, it has increased my take from each deal and then allowed me as I went on certain freedom to do what I want.
So it allows you the freedom to do what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Within the rules.
What do you want to do? What is it that you want?
I want to market and build a brand.
Okay.
I want to be me. When you're on a team, at least my experience was I'd say, hey, I want to run this marketing thing by you. And then you'd get changes, and then you'd hear from somebody saying, oh, I saw this on your social media. Can you change this and that? And I always played in the rules, but it wasn't always what they wanted.
Okay.
So now I've got freedom to do what I want.
All right. So tell us a little bit more about that. So we're talking about how to build a brand. You're
Mm-hmm.
building a brand. You've built a brand. So how?
So I'll tell you a little bit about it later. I don't do it all myself. I do work with a marketing company that is
Okay.
great. And it is essentially the long and short, it's Facebook ads. And it is different types of ads. And you've got lead gen ads, you've got just retargeting ads with content, personal content branding. I mean, I've run ads that are like a picture of me and my son in my treehouse, saying, this is what we're doing, and people love that stuff. Um, on both sides, we're a person, and people want to know that.
Yeah, I was just about to take this interview, this conversation, like a complete side direction and learn more about the treehouse. But I'll stay in the topic of the branding because I think that'd be more useful. But man, I want to know about that treehouse. We'll hit that up at the end.
Cool.
All right, cool. So
And then,
go on.
we also, I do market updates. I partner with a lot of local businesses, co-branding, do giveaways, and be the Louisville expert. And I've lived here, with the exception of college and one other year. I've lived here my whole life. I know it well.
Okay. So targeted ads, these are
Mm-hmm.
property ads. Is that sort of like the front end of the funnel? And then you're
There,
doing the retargeting at the back end, plus you're doing the awareness of who you are as a person?
I do listing tours, and
Okay.
that's part of the front of the funnel. And then we give away homes lists. Hey, here's a list of houses in the county that have acreage, and
Okay.
people love that. Hey, I'm going to click this. I'm going to receive a list, and then they're going to end up in my retargeting ad or retargeting list. So they're going to see me over and over and over.
Okay. And so originally, so let's stay in the front end of that funnel. So
Mm-hmm.
we're doing property tours, we're doing property ads, we're doing lists of foreclosures or whatever horse country or horse properties I would expect in your area, that type of thing. Okay. So we're doing the list. And then at that point, before we get to the retargeting, walk us through this entire step-by-step. What happens next?
Well, it depends on which kind of campaign they opt into, but let's take one of those lists, for instance. They opt into the list. They will automatically have the list emailed to them 30 minutes later. And that gives me the time to reach out to and say, hey, I'm going to send this list over. Just wanted to make sure I had the right email address, or call a little bit later and say, I sent this. I just want to make sure you got it.
Okay.
Although in our CRM, I usually know if they got it or not, and if they've clicked on it.
But it's a reason to call it's a more natural way to do that.
Exactly. Okay. And then there's autoresponders too. So there's sometimes where I'm not available to make that call in that short time window. So they're going to get an email and a text, and I'm just going to ask them, hey, do you live in the area? Okay. And people love to talk about themselves. It's their people's favorite topic. Oh, yes, I do. I live in the area. And then it's on. Then that conversation can develop.
So let's say it's a list. Would you say a text something like, hey, your list of horse properties is on its way. By the way, do you live in the area? Is that the way you would structure that?
Yeah, almost exactly.
Okay. All right. Yep. And then at that point they respond, and now you're engaging, and then you go from there.
Yep.
Okay.
And then, some people I get email only.
Sure.
Some people I get phone numbers, of course.
Okay.
And I used to look at those email only ones as almost bad leads, but they're not.
Okay. Tell us more about that.
Well, they've now opted into my retargeting list.
Okay.
They're going to see me over and over. And I think of it like I'm in retargeting lists on social media for products that I've found.
Yeah.
There's some of them.
You'll see me for the rest of your life, by the way, just so in case you don't know that yet. But
good.
Sorry, Neal.
No, it's all right. But, I saved an ad today for a Christmas gift, and I must have seen the ad 6 or 7 times before I ever saved it.
Yeah, well, you know what upsets me, Neal, is now I'm going to see that ad as well, just because you just mentioned it on this conversation. So
that's right.
Yeah. All right. So you get their email, you retarget them, and the retargeting ads. Tell us more about that. Like, what exactly are you retargeting them with?
Well, the retargeting stuff is more personal content. My favorite one I ever did, it was actually the CEO of my marketing company was in town for a conference.
Okay.
And it's a small little company.
You care to mention their name?
Yeah, it's Platform Marketing.
Okay, Platform Marketing.
Yep. The catch with them is that they only work with one agent in each market.
Sure. Okay.
Yep. So they don't compete against themselves.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And so Tim Chermak, he's in town, and Mitch, his sales manager. And we went and had dinner, and they told me about this place next door that they had gone to multiple times already. Louisville Cream, this little ice cream shop. Okay. He's raving about it. He says, you're going to go in, you're going to order this thing, and I'm going to film you doing it. It's the buttered brioche sundae. And they videoed me ordering it, and then videoed the guy making it. It's amazing. It involves torches and all kinds of stuff. And we ran that as a retargeting ad, and it got over 50,000 views.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because people liked that. So, and then all these people that have seen it, now they're in my retargeting list. People that see it, I think 3 seconds or more.
How do you connect that back to you as the local real estate agent?
Well, they see other things. So they'll see my market update, which is monthly. Hey, it's Neal. I'm here at X restaurant. Wanted to show it to you. I'm going to offer a gift card if you comment on this. Here's what's happening in the market right now.
Okay.
And then they're going to see me in listening tours. So they see a lot of different content.
Okay. So there's the personal content. So let's say you're getting the ice cream flambe.
Mhm.
At that point, there's nothing about real estate in that at all. Is that, do I
Nope.
understand that correctly? Okay, great.
Correct.
So
Except that it
that's
comes from my page, which is Neal Cox Realtor, or Neal Cox at Judah Real Estate Group, I guess. So they'll see that.
okay. So it's like in the background, it's like, this is just fun in the treehouse or fun at the ice cream store. That's it. And then in the
Yep.
background, it's being brought to you by Neal Cox Real Estate, etc. Correct?
That's correct.
Okay, cool. And then added on to that is, here's the market updates. Added on to that is list of homes for sale, etc. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yep. And listing tours.
And
So
listing tours.
anytime I have a listing, I'm gonna walk through it and show the house, but I'm in the video the whole time.
Okay.
So I'm the listing expert because you see me show all these houses.
Okay.
If all my listings are sold, I've gone and found for sale by owners say, hey, I've got a win-win. Let me find your buyer by doing a video of your house.
Sure.
And it's free. I say I'm going to spend my own marketing dollars on it. And you will be in a better position than some random guy calling and saying, let me list your house too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you listed for sale by owners doing that?
I had a couple that I've got one I'm still hoping to. I had one that was this big, gorgeous mansion kind of thing with a pool, and they ended up selling it by owner. I was blown away.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it does. It was just a much higher price point, and it's not as likely to sell by owner. So I haven't yet, but I'm working on it and getting close. And as people see me more, they know I'm the guy that's going to list it for them.
Let's go back to this retargeting piece. So we're going through the entire funnel. So you've got the property list, you've got the listing tours, or you've got the listing advertising. I guess before I get to the next step, the listing tour, walk me through that. Walk us through that if you could, please. Like, okay, what do you like? How long is the video? What are you doing?
The video, we like to keep them around a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes if it's a huge house.
I was going to say, if it's a big house, man, you got to run.
Yeah, but it's all edited, and Platform as a company, they edit them for me.
Okay.
And they do a great job. You say, hey, it's Neal. I'm here at 123 Main Street. I want to show you this great house. It's fun if you can put some kind of superlative in it. Does this have the best open floor plan in the area? Because then people want to say, oh, well, let me see if it does. And you walk.
So you're asking them an engaging question is what you're doing there when you say the superlative. Okay. So is this the best view in the neighborhood?
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah. Is this the best deal in this zip code? Does this have the best backyard you've ever seen?
And you're saying that, or is that in the description, or both?
Both.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. And then you walk them through the house, fairly quickly, because the likelihood of somebody seeing your tour and saying, well, oh, look at that kitchen. That's the one we're buying. I'm calling him now. Not as likely as someone saying, oh, this guy shows a lot of houses. Maybe if we list ours, we could get him to walk us through. So I'm the star, not the house.
Sure. Okay. And then, so thank you for clarifying that. So let's go back into where we are in the funnel. So we're retargeting them, a lot of just human fun. Here's what I'm doing to a community, those types of posts. How do you, at that point, do they just reach out to you randomly? Do you reach out to them proactively? Is there a call to action? Is there a landing page? How do you get them to, to get to the next step? Both.
So if they want to see all the stuff, they end up in my CRM.
Sure.
They have to provide an email address because I've got to have somewhere to send the list to.
Okay.
And if they want to see the listing tour, they have to click through the landing page. That'll just be an email only though, because it's not as big of an ask just to see the house.
Okay.
And then they end up in my CRM. It gives me a call list daily, and I'll go through that. And then I have someone working on trying to get some kind of contact with the email only leads. it's my son right now as my employee.
Put him to work. How old's your son?
15. He'll be 16 next month. Yep.
He's way too. You should. How long's he been? How long you been tasking him for this?
Just a few months.
Come on, man.
It's
You're
new.
like 7 years too late on that. You should have had him working when he was 8.
I know it. he's wanted a job, and he's also when everything's opened up, he's pretty active athletically. So he doesn't have the schedule to be like, okay, I got to work from 4 to 8 every night.
I got you.
So this has been perfect.
Yeah, you just reminded me. I got to go to the ATM. I owe my daughter. My daughter's 10 years old. I think I owe her $40.
Yeah.
Hopefully, nobody with any of the housing regulations, or I guess employment regulations. I'm just teasing if you're listening to this right now.
That's right. This is just his allowance anyway.
That's right. That's right. Just the allowance. So
yeah.
Okay. So so your son is going through with the email engagement, intending to tell us, like, what's he doing? How's he getting engaged with them?
We're just trying to get engagement, because that was the other part I wanted to talk about was follow-up.
Okay.
So if I said, hey, Dan, I know somebody who lives in Virginia and they're looking for a house. It's a close friend of mine.
Yeah.
I need an agent to take good care of them.
Okay.
Likely when you call them, you're not going to bust out the LP Mama script and say, hello, John, what is your location that you are interested in? Are you working with a realtor? You're going to talk to them. Yeah. You're going to say, oh, how do you know Neal? That's really cool. Well, what's the difference when you have an internet lead? I get a lot more success when I say, hey, what part of town do you live in? How long have you lived here? What's your favorite restaurant in the area?
Just like a real conversation then.
Yes. People like to talk about themselves. And the second favorite thing people like to talk about is their pets.
Got it.
Yep. You can re-engage a dead conversation by saying, hey, I meant to ask, do you need a fenced-in yard for your pets? People love to talk about their pets. Oh, you would love Sparky. He does this, that, and they absolutely love talking about that stuff.
So, okay. So re-engaging them with the pets for sort of like a conversation that's going stale.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so we're going back to that email. Okay. So that email, are you emailing them? Because what you just described seemed more to me like a verbal conversation, or is that an email?
Email, text, or call.
Doesn't
depending
matter.
On what I have. Calls best, text second best, email third best.
Yeah, the hierarchy of communication. You want to get them as high as possible in that hierarchy of communication. Then
that's right. And as we all know, it'd be great if every lead that you got was ready to buy today,
but they're not.
They're not.
Okay.
And so, I was on one of those kind of ubiquitous lead generation CRM and websites when I was on the team in the beginning.
Okay.
And you get a lot of tire kickers, and you call these people and they say, no, I'm just looking. That's about, and then that's it.
Okay.
And then you may send out a mass email sometimes and say, hey, wondering if you're looking, and you get all these, oh, I already bought.
Yeah.
Because you're not top of mind. You haven't created a relationship with that person. So if you provide value, lists, anything, or even just talk to people like they're a person, they're likely to think of you. I mean, I can think of one specifically where I was like, all right, I'm going to try this on steroids. I'm not going to mention real estate at all.
Okay.
And they made me talk about it. It was through text, texting about where they live and where they're from and their significant other and all that stuff. And they say, here's what we're looking for.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot we were talking about real estate.
So with talk to us about like the outcome of that. So a little bit more about the conversion. So you say where we screw this up is in the conversion, is in like the follow-up. Is that what I'm understanding?
Generally, I think so. And this is something that I still fail on, but it takes time to really hone, is when to find out those LP Mama questions. Because LP Mama, we need to know where you're looking and what your price range is and all that stuff. But we need to just understand that they're a person just as much as the referral that I gave you is a person as well. And
Okay.
people, most people are guarded from salespeople because they are used to people not.
Yeah, we put our defenses up.
Yeah, because they're used to people that they just want to pitch and stick to the script. And
Okay.
I get salespeople sometimes where I'm like, dude, why are you forcing the script? It's not working right now. Just talk to me.
Got it. So so with that, so it's more about just engaging as a human being.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got it. And so what's your conversion rate?
Oh gosh.
Do you know?
No, I don't know.
Okay. If you were to guess.
I don't know. I'd say it's fairly low because I get so many leads that are like email only that I never end up talking to.
Okay.
But when I talk to somebody and get engaged with them, my conversion rate is super high.
Okay.
And I'm starting to, well, more than starting to, it started more this summer when I'd been with the platform for about a year, start to get just inbound stuff. Somebody texts and says, hey, I'm so-and-so. I'm looking at this house. Do you think you can show it? Or we're selling our house and I heard about you. I'd like to talk to you.
How long are you retargeting for? Is it indefinite or is it for a specific amount of time?
I think it's 3 months, maybe something like that. I'm not sure. That's on the social media side that handles that part.
Okay. Do you know about like how many leads are coming in, and then how many are you getting connected with? How many are retargeting? Do you have? And if you don't know, that's okay. If we could I'm just looking for 100 leads. What happens? What's the outcome?
I probably get 10 to 20 leads a day.
Okay.
Probably 1 to 3 of those would have a phone number. Probably closer to 1.
Okay.
And then of those, I probably make contact with half, I'd say.
So every 2 days, you're making contact with one?
Yeah, I would say.
Okay.
And what I have to train myself too is that the ones that you've called 3 times and gotten their machine or whatever, still not a dead lead.
Yeah. How long will you follow up with them for?
At least a couple weeks.
At least a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And how often throughout those couple weeks?
Probably every other day, or every day for about 3 days, but try calling at different times of the day. Especially, sometimes you'll say, oh, this is a landline because of their answering machine or something. You say they're probably at work and they just have a landline.
Okay. And so you get, about one every 2 days you have a conversation with, and then of that one, so that's about 1 out of 30 leads.
Yeah, I'd say.
Okay. Of that one, how many of those then do you get into? You say that's a pretty high conversion rate. How many of those?
Most. I mean, probably 75%. It's hard to say too, because there's a term that we use that's the fuzzy ROI now.
Okay. What's the fuzzy ROI?
The fuzzy ROI
is that like after a night? What is it? I forget the streets there. Is there no, that's a different
Broadway.
Baxter
Avenue.
There you go. Is that like a night after Baxter Avenue? Is that where you get the fuzzy ROI from? You're like, I think it was something.
Well, that's the one where you get somebody saying, you're not in my CRM. I don't know you, but you know of me somehow, and I can't exactly place it, but you know that it's due to all of my efforts.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And those are in there as well. Another thing I've found too is my sphere is more likely to reach out to me now too, because they see me all the time as well. How many real estate agents does the average person know? A bunch.
Yeah.
And so earlier in my career, I'd get used to, and it still happens, but I'd get used to saying, oh, look at so-and-so, they're closing on their house. Well, crap. Now I get more of like, oh, hey, I want to ask you a question about something. Oh, hey, we're thinking of doing this
Yeah.
down the road
So you become the resource.
Yeah, I'm the expert.
Yeah, you're the expert. You're the
Yep.
expert. So it's an automated in many ways. I mean, there's proactive follow up. There's things that you have to do. Yet there's also sort of that awareness where you're just out there.
Exactly. They can't escape me, and I'm personable, but I try to have fun. There's some guys in Arizona that do the best at that. They run ads of them like running dune buckies out in the desert and stuff, and everybody's just like, oh, I want a part of that. This is so cool.
Is that Kevin and
that's Aaron and Shane. Aaron's a loan
Shane.
officer. Shane Saunders is an agent.
That's a good partnership there, right? So you can,
yeah,
that's a good way to do it there. Also,
yeah, they do awesome. They've got and they have an employee that is full time on follow up. He speaks as Aaron or Shane through text and email, and just says, hey, I'll give you a call, so and so, and then turns it over to them.
Got it. What would you say has been the biggest mistake that you've done going through this, that you've learned from?
Just in real estate in general.
In whatever.
In following up, I think follow up is realizing that people are not ready to buy right now.
Okay.
And they need to be nurtured or talked to or given value or anything. So many times I would just forget about it. I had thousands of leads in the Sync CRM.
Yeah.
And I converted some here and there, but it wasn't nearly to the degree it is now.
What's the difference?
One is your cost per lead with Sync goes up so much because you're competing with other people in the same market with Sync. So that's going to water down the quality of lead, because you're going to have all kinds of people at different stages in the sales funnel. You've got no face out there. I'm just some random dude calling you because you put your phone number in on a website.
Yeah. Okay.
My broker back in the day would always, when you go meet them, get them to sign a buyer agent agreement.
Okay.
And I always felt weird doing that. They don't know me at all. I've given them no value, and I'm trying to lock them into something.
Yeah.
And now I get loyal people. I have recently one lead that I got through platform marketing referred me to just his very good friend. So to me, this method is exponential, where, if I'm going to go sit down and bust out the scripts and call FSBOs and expireds, that's going to be addition. I made 200 calls today. I talked to this many people. I have one appointment, close the deal. But if you're not working by calling, however many hours a day,
you got to be rocking and rolling. You got to be putting in time with that, right?
Yeah. You're not going to get it.
You can do with what the program that you're running right now doesn't prohibit you from jumping on the phone and chasing the expires. It just positions you so you don't have to.
Exactly. And that's not what I want to spend my time doing.
Got it.
I've got another business that I run that I definitely should mention.
Please. What is that business?
It is welcomehomebags.com.
Okay.
So I invented and now have a patent on, it's a gift bag made out of craft paper that looks like a house, and it's got a little sold sign on it. And I sell these, I market them to agents through Facebook ads that I learned from platform marketing.
Okay.
And I sell those. And then now I've been adding gifts to the site, tissue paper, everything. And my goal is to be kind of the one-stop shop for your closing things. Now I've got a few gifts. I want to expand it.
Love it, man. Love it.
Yeah.
What one last inquisitive question. What type of budget would you be looking at for this campaign, for everything, nuts to bolts, start to finish?
So you're going to be probably a couple $1,000s a month. However, I have an amazing lender that I introduce to people, and he gives a lot towards that for me.
Yeah.
Before I had that, it was, it's like, oh, I got to close this one.
Yeah.
But I've got enough help now, financially, and he benefits as well, that it's easier to do and not as stressful. I was able to have savings this year just within the business that didn't have to go to marketing, that didn't have to go to the family budget. Some of that is getting dropped. We're about to buy a new house next week.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. And so I'm able to pitch in for that as well.
Are you licensed in Kentucky and Ohio, or just Kentucky, or?
Louisville sits across the river from Indiana.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
The Northern Kentucky does.
That's what I meant. Indiana. Yeah.
Yeah. Northern Kentucky does sit across from Cincinnati and Ohio. Okay. I am not licensed in Indiana. It is something that I have looked into, and every time I look into it, because business is slow for a little bit, business picks up and I forget about it.
So if I am a real estate agent with a referral to you, or if I'm a buyer or a seller, how do I get in touch with you?
Cell phone 502-415-3649. Email Neal@nealcoxrealtor.com.
Love it, Neal. And Talk About Town. That's a podcast that I could check out as well. So Neal, thank you so much for sharing your systems today, man. That's what you share today is going to be useful for many other real estate agents across the country. And I want to just express the gratitude on behalf of them to you. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. And if they want to check out Platform Marketing, they can Google them or look up me and I'll connect you as well. But remember, if your market's taken, it's taken.
If it's taken, it's taken. I love that fear of loss, man. I love that.
That's right.
Neal, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you. A lot of fun. Appreciate it.
Give us a thumbs up by clicking the like button below. Don't forget to subscribe to